So we haven't talked about AOC in a long while, and she just made an appearance on the Daily Show's podcast. Because apparently every celebrity in the world has to have an own podcast. And apparently the Daily Show podcast is just more interview of the Daily Show. Like I get, yeah, if people want to branch out to alternative media, by all means, it's an open ground for anybody. It's a platform. I'm not criticizing and trying to, narrow the gap of people that want a podcast. But every time I see like a Jon Stewart podcast or Conan O'Brien, just more of the same crap. Like you had a talk show, and in Jon Stewart's case, he has the Daily Show. He could have just brought AOC onto that show, but I don't know. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on it. Anyway, that's not the point of this story here. So AOC openly admits Democrats in Congress are doing insider trading. What? Oh my God. This is like so old information that everyone knows about already, but not me, apparently. Wild. You don't say. You don't say. Next, you're going to tell me that Hillary Clinton lost the 2016 election. Oh my God. This is like a shock to me. And apparently it's a shock to AOC and Jon Stewart, who are, one is in power with the Democratic Party, and another one's supposed to be a political expert and a political watchman. And listen what they have to say about insider trading within the Democratic Party. Oh, dang.
There need to be Democrats who walk the walk and talk the talk. There is an insane amount of hypocrisy. And the hypocrisy is what gets exploited to use the cynicism. And wherever there's a hypocritical window, for example, I think one of the most biggest examples of this is insider trading in Congress. Like,
dude, I don't know if do I give snaps? I don't know what the kids do anymore, but like, dude,
it is like,
that's so crazy.
Dude, that's so crazy that you're telling me this now that I've known for years. I don't know whether to snap or call myself a loser. I don't know what to do. I'm so conflicted right now. I feel like I need to pin a medal on a Nazi again. I'm just, oh my God. This is brand new information. Oh. The Democratic Party is involved in insider trading. Oh my God, who would have thunk that? Me, you, everybody knows. How long has Nancy Pelosi been in office? Okay, that should give you a clear sign of how long this has been going on. Everybody. But apparently to Jon Stewart and AOC, it's mind-blowing. Oh my God, Mama Bear. Oh no. It's so insider trading. Oh. I'm going to play that again.
There need to be Democrats who walk the walk and talk the talk. There is an insane amount of hypocrisy. And the hypocrisy is what gets exploited to use the cynicism. And wherever there's a hypocritical window, for example, I think one of the most biggest examples of this is insider trading in Congress. Like,
dude, I don't know if do I give snaps? I don't know what the kids do anymore, but like, dude, it is like, that's so crazy.
It's so crazy.
First of all, for Jon Stewart to say the word dude, like he's at a college frat party and just found out that girl has a crush on him. Dude, you should like totally ask her out. Dude. On something that everybody knows about. Oh my God, the hypocrisy on insider trading. You know. Oh yeah, we gotta get snaps. Oh, brand new information that I already know everybody knows about. What? Chief Nerd said this is wild. I guess the wild part is the fact that you have two people that are definitely inside of this and are pretending this is new information. Oh my God. Yeah, join next week when the sudden shock of Tupac's murder is revealed. Oh my God. Get all the stories from the past and just revive it as like brand new information. Oh my God. Messed up. Dude, so messed up. Dude.
Crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, like and this is the thing. It's like people think that everyday people are stupid. I'm like, do you all
You mean like us right now that are watching this thinking that, oh my God, I just learned this now. No, we knew this from the start. We knew about the Democratic Party. We knew about the insider trading. We know about all of this. You're the dumb one. You're the dumb idiot. Because you went and got yourself involved in that party and you tricked us to think that you were going to shake things up, but then you cozied up to the wrong people, and now you've maintained a power structure within the Democratic Party. Where was the ruckus, AOC? Where was the ruckus going to happen? So, no, you're on the dumb side of this. The people have gotten smarter over you. The people have gotten smarter over you. Your own followers. People that actually used to respect you. I was one of those people. And now the people have long before you got into office knew about insider trading within the political establishment. Oh, brand new information.
really think that people don't see this shit? Like,
they sit on a committee, they get information about a drug or a contract or a thing. They immediately make a call. The stockbroker changes things and their portfolio swells.
Explodes. It explodes.
What are we doing?
And you're doing this on...
What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, clearly you just keep reiterating it. What are we doing? Why don't we just remind people just how awful it is instead of actually pressuring people? Hey, Jon Stewart, dude, why don't you take your platform, pressure AOC, and say, are you pressuring your people in Congress, the people in the Democratic Party, to stop the insider trading? Why are you not pressuring her to pressure the party? Oh God, no, we would never do that. That's violence. That's what she call it? So stochastic terrorism. How dare you? And words are violence. How dare you emphasize I need to fight for positions? But no, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Like, insider trading is so bad. Oh, we know it's bad. We know it's bad. That's why regular people have been trying to fight you to stop it from happening. But you, AOC, because you're in a comfy bubble now, being in the Democratic base for quite a few years now, are just conditioned to just go along with it. And then you go on to Jon Stewart's show to act like this, hip influencer that pretends to give a damn about people. Oh, this insider trading, oh my God, the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party and other parties, oh my God. And Jon Stewart going, dude, I so understand. When are they actually going to do something about it? When are they actually going to do something about it? They're not. This is just all pointless banter. All pointless banter.
There
So
need to
I thought, just to revisit the past, since they're, bringing up topics of interest that everybody knows from 30 years ago. Um, remember Martha Stewart? Remember Martha Stewart went to prison and was convictedly charged of insider trading and fraud? So, People Magazine, why did Martha Stewart go to prison? A look back at her 2004 fraud case. And I actually just saw recently the Martha Stewart documentary on Netflix, and I actually recommend people watch it. Even if you're not a fan of Martha Stewart or couldn't care less about it, it's actually very interesting to watch just on this court case. Pretty compelling. So, Martha Stewart has been many things in her lifetime: a best-selling author, a successful entrepreneur, an Emmy award-winning television host. But in 2004, she spent 5 months behind bars for lying about a stock trade. Stewart's legal troubles began more than 2 decades ago when her career was at a peak. Her media empire, Martha Stewart Living Omni Media, had gone public in 1999, making Stewart the first female self-made billionaire in the United States. A few years later, however, Stewart found herself wrapped up in an insider trading scandal that would eventually send her to prison. Stewart landed in hot water after selling her stake in I'm Clone Systems, a biopharmaceutical company, in December of 2001. When investigators questioned her on the trade in early 2002, she and her stockbroker, Pete Benikoff, maintained that they had no insider info that prompted the sale. However, federal prosecutors later accused Stewart and Bonavik of acting on non-public information, non-public knowledge when they made the trade, and then lying about it to the feds. A highly publicized trial ensued in the early 2004, and Stewart was found guilty on charges including conspiracy and obstruction to justice. He was sentenced to 5 months in prison and 2 years probation, leaving the future of her company and her reputation uncertain. But despite the negative press and her stint behind bars, Stewart rebounded. She kept her company intact, wrote a book, debuted 2 new television shows less than a year of her release in prison in March of 2005. So how did Stewart survive the stockbroking scandal and come out stronger on the other side? Global icon, blah, 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 blah. So that was the most highly publicized insider trading case in 2004 when it was Martha Stewart. And you would think that would have been enough attention for people to wake up and realize, hey, we need to stop insider trading with everybody. Not just entrepreneurs, not just figures like Martha Stewart, but also politicians, also other companies that do it periodically. That maybe we should change the laws and make it and enforce it, that AOC doesn't come on 21 years later and say, oh my God, the insider trading is crazy right now. That's always been crazy. It's always been crazy. So, you win for Mama Bear, Nancy Pelosi. Because Nancy Pelosi, being the Democrat fundraiser, no stranger to insider trading. In fact, that's the only reason her and her husband survived in politics for this long and able to flourish themselves, is insider trading. So this is going back. This is a video from, I think, 2009, where Johnny Midnight says the net worth of Nancy Pelosi has hit an all-time high of $240 million. This is a video of when it first came to light about her insider trading. So right now, she's $240 million net worth. And as the saying goes, the only people that make that kind of money in politics are criminals, which Nancy Pelosi and her husband Paul are. They're career criminals. They're flushing insider trading deals under our noses and got away with it numerous times. So why wouldn't AOC then pressure Nancy Pelosi to stop insider trading instead of bitching about it to Jon Stewart? But here's the video. This was back in 2009 when we got a bit of a glimpse of Nancy Pelosi's insider trading And someone actually questioned it in the press briefing room. And listen to Nancy Pelosi.
I wanted to ask you why you and your husband, back in March of 2008, accepted and participated in a very large IPO deal from Visa. At a time there was major legislation affecting the credit card companies making its way through the House. And did you consider that to be a conflict of interest?
I don't know what your point is of your question. Is there some point that you want to make with that?
Well, I guess.
I don't know what your point is. Trying to ask a question, trying to like get me. Boy, yeah, I'm an inside trader. She doesn't get the point. She doesn't get the point. The fact that is a conflict of interest. That you're doing insider trading, which is illegal. Martha Stewart went to prison for and lied to the feds about it. You do it periodically. You do it every friggin' turn within your tenure at the White House. Don't you think that's a conflict of interest, a breach of trust? The fact that you're an elected politician, you're supposed to represent the people, and you're doing insider trading under our noses for this long? I don't understand what. I don't understand.
I guess what I'm asking is, do you think it's all right for a speaker to accept a very preferential and favorable stock deal?
Well, we did.
And you participated in the IPO.
Well, I have many
and at the time you were
investments, but I
Speaker
don't
of the House. You don't think it was a conflict of interest or had the appearance of a conflict of interest?
It only has the appearance if you decide that you're going to have elaborate on a false premise. But it's not true, and that's that.
I don't understand what part's not true.
Yes, sir. That I would act upon an investment. Yes.
It's only bad if you think it's bad. If you're the one that keeps bringing it up, then yes, it's gonna be bad. I just responded to investment. That's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing it. Like I said, her entire 10-year career span in politics is nothing but insider trading. But she doesn't care because she still remains in power. No one's criticized her. No one's questioned her. She is not brought to justice. She is not brought to court and criminally convicted the same way that Martha Stewart did. And Martha Stewart only had one insider trading job. Only had one count of lying to the feds. Nancy Pelosi's done it her entire life. and barely gets a slap on the wrist when it comes to that. This is just recently from the New York Post. Nancy Pelosi's husband made $38 million worth of stock trades in weeks leading up to Trump's inauguration. So, right as AOC and Jon Stewart bicker about the conundrum within insider trading, the hypocrisy this never gets brought up. The head of the Democratic speakership, Nancy Pelosi, Mama Bear, the fact they made $38 million worth in insider trades weeks before Trump's inauguration. These are criminals. These are criminals. And that's why I showed you the Martha Stewart case, because if Martha Stewart was criminally convicted on what Pelosi would say is just pettiness, then obviously there needs to be criminal convictions on her. Obviously. And her husband. But they are able to get away with it because no one pressured them. No one pressures them. Not Jon Stewart, not AOC, not the rest of the squad, not Bernie. Nobody does. Nobody. And even look at this. So this is the actual report of the insider trades that Nancy Pelosi and her husband did just prior to Trump's inauguration. And you can see the transactions that made over $250,000 to $500,000 to $5 million to $1.5 million, all from tech stocks. So there's Alphabet, there's Amazon, there's Apple, there's Nvidia, which is I think it's the computer chip company, right? Palo Alto Networks, Tempest AI, Vistra Corp. And you notice Amazon and Apple, Jeff Bezos and Tim Cook were at the inauguration. Just to point that out. Jeff Bezos, head of Amazon, and Tim Cook, head of Apple, were at the inauguration. And Nancy Pelosi did insider deal trades with those two companies. The top two companies she did insider trading just prior to the inauguration. Does that seem conflicting? That's what the journalist asks. Is that not a conflict of interest? I don't understand with that. I just a capitalist. A capitalist. What she tells young people, I'm just a capitalist. Do what I do, just screw off and let me eat my ice cream. So, obviously, this is a breach within her position. And even Trump himself, when he was running in 2024, even called this out. And this was, again, another conflict of interest with Visa. Because Visa was about to be prosecuted under the Department of Justice, and Nancy Pelosi and her husband, once again, did some insider stock deals with Visa to flourish themselves and get a bunch of money, knowing that they're going to be prosecuted, and Trump called them out. Listen.
And Nancy Pelosi has a little problem because her husband sold their Visa stock. They had a lot of Visa stock one day before Visa was announced that Visa is being sued by the Department of Justice. Think of that. Nancy Pelosi sold vast amounts of Visa stock one day before the big lawsuit that we all read about a few days ago was brought against Visa. You think it was luck? I don't think. She should be prosecuted. Nancy Pelosi should be prosecuted for that.
Hard not to agree with that. I strongly agree. Nancy Pelosi should be prosecuted. But even Trump, when stating that, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He had every opportunity to do it his first presidency. They know that the Pelosi's are corrupted. They know that the both of them are career criminals. They know that they partake in this time and time again. Nobody's ever tried to prosecute them. Nobody. Because the whole entire corruption with inside the White House, with inside the Capitol, with inside Congress, with inside the entire orchestration of American democracy revolves around things like stock trading. And it's not just Pelosi that's involved in this. Hundreds of other people that get away with this day in, day out. But Nancy Pelosi is the top tier when it comes to insider trading, stock deals, lying to the feds, lying to Congress, lying to her own people, and manufacturing her own little stunts. That Paul Pelosi hammer attack, for example, was a manufactured stunt to, again, politicize against Trump, politicize against her people that were protesting her. So she's definitely a career criminal, but nobody is willing to convict her. No one's willing to charge her. No one's willing to hold her to account. And that's where you get Jon Stewart and AOC in 2025. After how many years Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi have done insider trading and done criminal acts within Wall Street, to remind people about it. Oh my God, did you hear about this insider trade? It's so hypocritical. Oh my God. Yes. Yes, girlfriend. Yes. Maybe we should actually do something about it. Well, we're not actually going to do something about it. We're just going to keep reminding people just how awful it is. And even if they do something about it, Nancy Pelosi, it's just fabulous.